Before we leave the topic of colored pickers, I wanted to just give a few more examples of when they might be useful. So right here I've got a Toho round 11 bead, and I looked it up in the Beadographer bead library, and this is what it came up with. This is how it was represented, which isn't too bad for a shade. However, it doesn't represent the transparency, and this is because that information was put in before we had transparency options. So at some point we'll go through and update the beads in the bead library so that they look more accurate. But for now, you can do that manually by changing the transparency yourself. So let's see how close we can get to this. If I click on that, that makes the active style what was in the bead library. You can see the product information is given there. Let's just add the transparency. Well, that's already much better. Let's add glossiness because it looks pretty glossy. And actually, I think that's not a bad representation. So let's add that, and if we put some beads on the canvas, you can see the difference. It does look a lot more like the real thing, doesn't it? So here's another example. Imagine I have this bead at home. Maybe somebody gave me a set of beads and I don't know what it is. I don't have the product code, so I can't look it up in the bead library. But I want to use these beads in my project, so I'll try to replicate it. Let's try with the secondary color, because you can see that it's not just one color. There's kind of this darker blue, greeny blue. So let's see if we can get an accurate representation in here. So I'm going to open my color pickers. I'm going to say it's glossy, and let's just try transparent. It's a little hard for me to tell from the photo, but let's just try that. And first I'm going to get the base color. It's kind of an aqua. Let's put the beads on the canvas. That's okay, but I bet we can do better with the secondary color. So now let's turn on the secondary color, and looks maybe a little more like that, like that. I think that's a bit better. You got this one which is just white highlights, this one that has a bit more variety in the shades of blue. So I think that's okay. I'm happy with that. So like I say, we'll be doing a sweep on the library and updating that to reflect these new options. But in the meantime, you can do it yourself, either for beads you find in the library that could be represented more accurately, or for beads you have at home for which you don't know the product number, you can recreate them like that.